Welcome to the IME Community Podcast, where self-love is your superpower to achieve your weight and life goals and make your mark in the world. Your host is Dr. Karla, ActivistMD. If you're a teen who's looking to revolutionize your health and can't wait to follow your dreams, welcome to the IME community.
Saves me, 'cause after all, you're my wonderwall. I love that song by Oasis. Okay, these glasses make me think of that song. And that's one of the songs that I just literally couldn't live without in my life. And I hope you have songs like that. Whenever I listen to the Brene Brown podcast, she's always asking her guests, what are the 5 songs you can't live without? And I'm probably going to add that one in there because it's just so freaking cool. And I know when I'm singing it, you're thinking, oh, wow, this is this middle-aged woman who sounds like more like a lounge singer. So I hope I didn't ruin that song for you. It was just like, hey, how's your steak? Too well done. Send it back to the kitchen. Okay. Radio blast today, coming at ya. Heard a lot of amazing songs on the way to drop my son off for his 3rd day of high school. We still can't find his ID. We didn't look hard enough, and we were scrambling at the last minute. It's like, oh, you didn't find it. Oh my gosh, where is it? He's like, I just lost it. So I'll have to get a new one. I just lost it. I'm like, it has to be somewhere around here. He's like, I just lost it. I'm gonna have to get a new one. Anyway, one of the songs we heard was 99 Luftballons by Nina, which has the coolest beat ever. And it was sung in German. This version was that we heard on the radio. 99 Luftballons. Anyway, cool song. Check out the beat. All right. I'm wearing my Hunger. Honestly, it's not for anyone shirt. This is a play off a Nebraska tourism logo that was kind of made fun of, but got a lot of play. I'm sure this was pre-COVID, so I'm sure we have so many tourists coming to Nebraska to see our exciting state because of that logo. Anyway, I grew up with food insecurity and child hunger. And I was on the board of the Food Bank of Lincoln, an amazing organization. Shout out to all of my peeps there for 9 years. And it was amazing to advocate for the child hunger programs, a program called Bridges Out of Poverty that they do, and to get more healthy food access, increase SNAP benefits. And so it's amazing. So if you have the ability, if you're a parent listening, a doctor, and you want to become, or a teen for sure, these are the organizations that we need volunteers for. And if you are able to serve on the board, if you're able to donate, make sure you're giving food that you would eat. That's really important. And don't give your crap food that you have left in the pantry, okay? You wouldn't believe what people do. I remember meeting with the executive director, Scott Young, who's my good friend. He's retired now, and he's such a compassionate person, but he was telling me as I was coming onto the board that they literally have people who'll drop off like black bananas and say, if people are hungry enough, they'll eat them. And it's just like such a gross story. I mean, it's just like, please have the dignity and integrity to donate food that you would actually eat. And if you can donate every to your hunger programs locally in your community is what it's all about. So please, if you can, then do it. All right. If you can't, please, and a lot of people who haven't needed to access these resources like SNAP benefits or food pantries or food banks, a lot of people who hadn't needed to access these pre-COVID or now with COVID and the financial strain, accessing those. And I'm telling you, like, there's no shame in that. Please, people are there to help. Everybody is a part of the community. You never know when you could be in that situation. And nobody, as my mom would always say, nobody's better than anybody else. Nobody's better than anybody else. And I know, like, what it's like to grow up with food insecurity and hunger. And the reason that my sisters and I dealt with that was because of my mom's depression after my parents got divorced. And so it's like she just couldn't function very well. Anyway, that's a lot about it. But anyway, I've been fighting with fatdoctoruk. I wouldn't say fighting. I mean, it's just like on these social media platforms, I've been arguing with her on TikTok. I really agree with a lot of her content, but I also I would say I'm like 50-50 with her content. You might want to follow her. A lot of people find her to be super helpful. I do a lot of the time, but when it comes to any sort of conversations about actual intentional weight loss, that's where I disagree with her. And I really think that people who say that, we're stuck, there's nothing you can do, I'm like, I totally disagree with that. And so anyway, she had a post about intentional weight loss that was saying that intentional weight loss leads to eating disorders and is harmful and it doesn't work and will backfire. And my comment was, just because diet culture and healthcare have completely messed us up doesn't mean that we're stuck. You can reach your health goals in a healthy way, which, and then I got one comment reply from, and I'm not putting a lot of heads time into this, okay, I promise. Okay, so I got one reply from a woman that's like, hey, bestie, I'm not feeling any shame about my body. I'm like, awesome. Yay, good. That's the goal. And I'm, running a 10K 3 times a week. I'm like, wow, that's awesome. It's better than me. And I feel no shame. And I'm like, okay. Like, she's like, I'm healthier than a lot of thin people. I'm like, okay. I'm like, that's awesome. That's incredible. Way to go. That's inspiring. I don't think there's anything there. And then Fat Dr. UK this morning did a duet response to my post, so I'm going to play it for you. And again, follow her. She's got a lot of good things, she says.
When did I ever say otherwise? I'm talking about weight loss. You're talking about health. Those are two completely different things. No. Of course, you can do everything in your power to improve your health. That being said, you have absolutely no control over your health.
That's not true.
I've been a doctor for almost 20 years, and I can assure you that no matter what you do, no matter how quote-unquote good you are, you cannot control your health. People who make comments like this don't understand the social determinants of health and how important they are and how much of an impact they make on our lives. I say it time and time again. Health is a privilege, not an achievement.
I agree.
So yes, do what you can to live as healthy a life as you possibly can, but please don't assume for 1 second that will have a major impact on your outcome.
So I agree with part of her statement, and we're not saying, disparate things here, but obviously I totally disagree with the summary. We can, as individuals, take control of our health, and we can optimize our health, and health and weight loss done in a healthy way are not two different things, okay? And I just think that it's, to say we're stuck and that our health is completely determined by our environment. Now, it's totally true that I believe health is a privilege in our society. We're seeing that even more with COVID. And I'm a doctor who's been addressing social determinants of health for my entire career. So, I've started a nonprofit, and I'm not going to defend all my work. Addressing adverse childhood experiences. And one of the reasons I left my job was because they weren't doing enough to at the health system where I was, to really address the core issues. And I believe in, that's why I created IME Community. So I believe in the power of the individual to create your big magic healthy life, and the support of a community that's safe. And that's why I created it and invested all my resources in becoming a life coach and taking my obesity medicine boards. And I serve on the board of the food bank, and I'm a generous community donor. And anyway, I'm not going to defend my work around the social determinants of health, but speaking out and being Dr. Karla ActivistMD is important to me. So she knows nothing about me. She hasn't looked at my platform. She hasn't looked at my videos at all. She says, this person is just saying this, and then she's creating this video. So you have to take some of this with a grain of salt. And I'm going to ask you, what do you want? What do you want? That's all that matters. Okay? It's your life. You're not stuck. You're not stuck. You can reach your goals. You can do it in a healthy way. It can be fun. It doesn't have to be totally grueling. You don't have to punish yourself. You don't have to think that you're stuck. Okay? All right? And also, think about other people along the way. Donate to your food banks locally. Help people, and be a good person. Be a good person. So what I would say is that you're not stuck, and anybody who says that you are is somebody you probably shouldn't follow too closely. Okay? So take that with a grain of salt. And when you're thinking about this song by Oasis, like, baby, you're gonna be the one that saves me, and after all, you're my wonderwall. That's you. Like, you're the one. You know? You're the one. All right. I'll see you tomorrow. Thanks.
Thank you for tuning in to the IME Community Podcast, where self-love is your superpower. The content of this podcast represents the opinions of Dr. Karla Lester and is not intended as, and shall not be understood as, a substitute for professional medical advice, diagnosis, or treatment. The opinions shared reflect the host and guest and do not represent an organization or medical group. Always seek the advice of your physician or therapist if you have concerns about your health. And please, like and subscribe to the IME Community Podcast. Share IME with your friends and go to imecommunity.com to join the member community. Don't forget to follow IME on social.